Literally just waiting on you. We're good? All right, here it is. Yo,
Yeah.
it is. Another edition of the House Podcast, sponsored by Miller Lite, official partner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tastes like Miller time in Philadelphia. Celebrate responsibly. I didn't want to be here. Jack made us do the pod.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jack. I just did the morning show. Like, I don't want to talk about this team. I don't really have a lot to say. I'm super annoyed right now. Like that sucked. Like, that sucked. Oh, they're back to 3 of 4, 2 of 3. They won a freaking series. Woohoo! Like, the walk-off, there's a walk-off. It had, like, 23 runs in 2 days? Just, like, Jose Alvarado forgot how to pitch. I guess he just stinks now.
He's done.
He stinks. Like, what do we do? Like, where are we at? Fritzy?
What are you asking me for?
I want to go home and go to sleep. All right, I want to nap. That's where I'm at.
No, because we have serious things.
I know we're here.
We have
I'm
to
freaking
discuss.
here right now. All right?
Again, I don't care about what you did on your little morning show. There is a problem that needs to be addressed, and it's on this podcast because it is like, again, just when I thought they couldn't get any lower, just when I thought that they couldn't, or like, all right, that's rock bottom.
The Saturday in Seattle.
Yeah.
That was rock bottom, right? To the walk in the run. It was like, all right, we did it. We reached rock bottom. It's not going to get worse than this.
Well, and what I keep thinking is like, it's like, all right, we get it. Like, you want to cool off for a little bit, but can you just wake up a little bit? Like, can you just, like, you want to be the Dodgers? Knock yourself out. Like, first off, that Dodgers team's not the Dodgers team we'll probably see in 2 months. So, like, knock yourself out. But, like, they got absolutely dog walked the last 2 days by the Diamondbacks. And what made it that much worse is it's like, that looks like the team that has, like, the mental edge over this team. Like, the way that they laid down and just were like, it's so much of like, not our day. Like, I just hate it. I just hate it so much. Like, enough with it's not our day. Like, how about you grind it out and go win a ball game? But it's like, I don't even know, like, where they can go to from here. The pitching staff's regressed. The lineup is not as good as it was at the beginning.
After Bohm, it's like automatic outs practically, unless Casty gets a hit or two. Like,
I can't believe we're sitting in a world where either it's Marsh or Stott in the 5-hole.
Dude,
like,
neither one
can't happen.
Dude, but Brandon Marsh has 44 strikeouts in his last 90 at bats. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that doesn't seem 40 strikeouts last night, but whatever it is, it seems impossible. Like, that's like almost a 50% strikeout rate.
I mean, it backs it up. I mean, it all makes sense.
It passed the eye test. You're right. Yeah,
it nailed it. Yeah, you could have told me it was 60 strikeouts at 99 at bats. You could have told me that, but it's like, what are they doing? And like, all right. So there's either two camps, right? Like, and both could, by the way, be 100% true. Like, all of this is on the table now, which absolutely sucks. They're cooked and like really 100% like peaked early and put so much energy into getting off to a good start that they forgot there's 162 games. Like, unfortunately, that's on the table. Sure. Like, I'm not really there, but if you're there, I don't blame you. No. Like, you see a majority of the bullpen, they look cooked. You see the starting staff who got off to such an unbelievable start, like, they're tiring down outside of like Wheeler. And then lineup wise, again, like we just went over, like, Trey's back to chasing everything. Harper isn't like driving the baseball. He's getting some singles and he almost hit a home run yesterday. Like, Bohm's been really, really good. After that, you have no idea what you're getting. No idea what you're getting.
You're lost. Like, unless Sosa's in lineup.
Exactly. And so it's like, either they're cooked and they might be cooked. And like, dude, like, the Braves and Mets just aren't very good.
No,
like,
I think that's part of it too. Is it's like we've kind of just like, and I think the team too is kind of just like, well, we're such a big lead. Like, it's like, it's the imperative to turn it around hasn't been there because it's like the division's so bad. By the way, they're not in first in the National League anymore. They're tied. They're tied with the Dodgers. The Brewers are right behind them. Like, they could very easily be playing in the first round of the playoffs like that. Like, they'll win the division most likely. You never know with how bad they're playing. But yeah, dude, like, it's unbelievable.
So there's their cooked camp, versus the Rangers did this last year. They lost that. Didn't they lose like 10 straight at one point, like 9 straight at least? And then when they get in, you gotta just bank on a hot streak. Like, it was always gonna be lucky to win a World Series. Like, you have to have some things go your way. But it's like, it's almost like we're just counting down the days until the start of the
And
postseason
just
and
hope.
see because I don't really know, like, what else to say. Like, I didn't want them to have I didn't want them to go for the win streak. I didn't want them to do any of that stuff because I think we've seen so many teams, like, not win the World Series that way. But it's also I don't want them being under 500 for 3 months heading
Well,
into the
think about it
postseason.
this way. I mean, they've basically been bad as long as they were good, right? I mean, like,
Now they were, like, unbelievably good.
no, they were, but and they are not as bad as they
Yes.
were good, but still, they have been the whatever they are, 4 games under 500 team for the same amount of time they were the 30 game over 500 team. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, and they've just completely flipped what their seasons have been the
It's
last few
unbelievable.
years.
It's literally inverting it. It's like exact same thing, just flipped around.
So it's like it's almost where I'm at of I could see them losing in the first round, and then we have to, like,
But they could play the Diamondbacks the first round.
sure,
Think about that. Like,
sure, but they could lose in the first round. You have to make some serious changes and, come back next year, or they're in the World Series again. Like, like, that's where we're at with this team, where it's like they showed us a lot of good, but the way that they're trending right now, it's like, what am I banking on turning around and moving in the right direction when the playoff all of a sudden starts? Like, it's like, oh, the bright lights are on. Citizens Bank Park is packed. By the way, the thing that would stink about where they're kind of at right now, I wonder if there's a little bit of a dejected
loss of
crowd.
juice. Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of, like, obviously 2022 was like, wow, we're just so happy to be here. Last year, they were really, really good in the second half, regardless of, like, what happened in the last week of the season.
And we were coming off the year before the magical playoff run. Let's do this again. This
Let's
is
do it
fun.
again.
Yeah.
This year,
We're coming off game 7 loss, 2 years in a row blowing it. And then this season, Lena, you're right.
like, I just wonder what now that if they win
if they win that quick, they win 2 in a row and they kick ass and there's grand slam, like the Marlins, people could be on board.
But there's going to be a very, 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 very quick, tight ballpark feel if they get down early in one of these games. Like, it's the blessing and the curse of expectations. The blessing is everyone's watching. Like, everyone's watching, everyone's reacting very strongly to what they're doing, especially here, and people care. Like, people legitimately care. We our good friend Elliot, oh, little Elliot, he has been like, "Whoa, they're treated like a minor league team in this city. No one cares." Well, they care. Okay, everyone's mad. We're mad. So, but the curse is that, like, there's real expectations to go get the job done this year, and go get the job done is not winning and beating the Braves in the NLDS and going back to the NLCS. Like, they got to get it done this year. So, it's just I'm definitely nervous. I definitely feel more like I don't know, like, I think they can pull their way out of it, but, like, these guys are like, so many guys are just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's like, man, I would like to see glimpses of it.
Yeah, look, we can look back to 2022. You just brought that up. I mean, that was a team that in September we thought stunk, and we thought
doing it again.
Yeah, we hated them. Like, we were like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And then, as soon as they get in, all of a sudden, the Segura hit in the 9th against Helsley, and then it all kind of just spun, and they went on a magical run. So, like, we know that it can change quickly in baseball, but like
They just need to believe in themselves.
yeah,
again.
and also, like, look, I think that I think they did push hard early, and I think some of these we loved, like, using pitchers going deep into games and stuff. But guess what? That might be coming back to bite them a little bit.
I
Like,
know.
Ranger throwing 120 pitches or 115 pitches, whatever, so you get a complete game. It's like, that's nice, but, like, maybe now that's part of the reason why they're struggling. And then on top of that, like, look, I know the prices were high, but this is why we said do more than Austin Hayes. This is why we said it. And I know that Austin Hayes is out right now, it hurts, but injuries are part of baseball. Like this was like, we knew that there were these holes here. We knew that there were these guys who were hot and cold, and that we needed someone who could come in and be consistent for this team, or at least, put the ball, in play more often. And they didn't do it, and it's a shame.
I think, we're going to look back on this deadline of, like, if it doesn't end in glory, of, like, what
Missed opportunity.
What did they do?
Yeah.
Like, why did they do that?
We said, leave no stone unturned. And they made 2 tiny, like, Espa isn't a tiny trade, but they made 2, like, for all intents and purposes, tiny-ish trades. Like, they did not trade a top 100 prospect. They did not trade for a all-star player. Like, they didn't go above and beyond to bolster the team. Like,
well, and I think that the biggest misread there is this team needed a spark. This
Exactly right.
team needed a jolt. And maybe
And even Bryce said it. Remember that quote that we made so much of going into the break where he's like, Dave will do it if he wants to. Like, it was so weird that he said it that way, but it was like they needed something.
yes.
Man.
Yeah. And to this point, like, again, Austin Dave's been pretty good. It stinks he's hurt. Like,
he's been fine.
Could
nice,
use him out there.
Addition, but
I can't believe, and it's nothing against Cal Stevenson. But again, like, he's our center fielder.
I know.
I mean, this feels like 2019.
It does.
Like, it feels like 2019. He's not a major leaguer. I don't know what to tell you.
He's not. But at the same time, he's as good as Brandon Marsh is as a hitter right now, and that's the problem, right?
That's a big issue.
Well, then again, and that's my issue with the Austin Hayes move in and of itself, was they were like, all right, we're doing this with the idea that Brandon Marsh is going to be an everyday center fielder. Like, we knew that wasn't going to work. We knew it wasn't going to work. We knew it wasn't working offensively and defensively. It's not as good as it could be. Like, it was just like, it just felt like it was like, we're betting on our guys again thing. And it's like, no, like, add to your guys, have more guys so that when your guys struggle, which these guys all do at some point, they're streaky dudes, like, have someone here who can pick them up.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I mean, I get it, but it's like they keep it's like the third year in a row they keep doubling down on the same guys, and like it worked the first year, it worked the second year mostly. It's just like at some point, what's frustrating is that I think a lot of people watch this team and majority of the year. First half was unbelievable, but it's like I don't know how seasoned baseball guys, like Dombrowski and Thompson, like how they don't like see this as well. And that's the thing. It's like, we brought up at the deadline, and I believe it more and more as we're watching this core. Like I think they're worried about the window, and I think that's why they didn't push all their chips in
because they want to extend it.
Again,
Yeah.
we talked about after the deadline. Is this about the World Series or is it about the window? And it feels like they chose the window over the no doubt about it. We got to go win the World Series this year, and I just hope it's not something that has gone through the clubhouse of like, well, they didn't really, they didn't.
Look, human nature, like, who knows how big it is, but human nature, if you're a player on that team, like, how could you not look at it and be like, okay, I guess, like, all right, so you're not like, we're not really going for it, huh? Like, I mean, what other interpretation is there than that?
Yeah, I don't know, but they need a spark. They still need a spark, and it's why yesterday, and like, I don't know why it's so like voodoo to do this. Like, I don't know how Trey Turner wasn't benched yesterday. Like, it was the seventh inning. You had some momentum back on your side. It was 9-5. If he beats that ball out,
Totally.
you have Bryce Harper coming up with a chance to make it a 9-7 game.
9-7 game.
With one
and you
swing
had
of the
just
bat.
gotten those 2 runs too, so you're like, little momentum, whatever.
And it's that scrub Dylan Floro who
no one has ever said a good word about.
Would ever want to trade for Dylan Floro. Like, that's a situation where one of your highest paid players, one of your leaders of the team, completely dogs it to first base and gets doubled up, kills all the momentum, and then Jose Alvarado comes in and it bang, it's 12-5, game's over. Like, it shouldn't, like, if that's something that ruins a relationship between Trey and Rob Thompson, then you don't have the right guy. Like, that was a situation where I think if you at least just bench him and say that's not acceptable, maybe that's something that wakes up the rest of the clubhouse. Like, it's at some point there has to be something other from Rob than just, well, I trust this team. We'll get on tomorrow.
Exactly, which was exactly what he said again after. Oh, good, be good to go home, and these guys will grind. We'll win some games. It's like, you sure, buddy?
Like, there has to be something else. There has to be something else besides like, yeah, when we get home, everything's fine. Like, by the way, I mean, I think it's going to be fine. I mean, they said that last time, and they came home and lost.
He's always said that. He's always said that.
I'm thinking about Bryce too. Like, Bryce, I can't wait to get home. It's like, well, okay. Then he went 1 for
30 last time he was at home.
The last time he was at home. Like, I just think that's not something that I think would have harmed anyone. I think Trey would have been like, I get it. Like, I messed up, and maybe it gets him relocked. I don't think he would have lost Trey Turner by benching him in that situation. But, like, someone has to know that that's not good enough. And, like, sure, maybe they don't come back and win that game, and it would have gotten out of hand anyway. And it's like, oh my God, dude, does Rob not believe in us anymore? Like, no, but like, something could have woken that team up of like Rob's not messing around. Like there has to be some. Even Charlie, like people talk about Charlie all the time. Like,
He
hey,
sat Rollins, man.
he was a player's manager, but like Charlie Manuel had the respect of those guys in the locker room of like you're gonna respect what I say, and if you don't, then you're not gonna play. He had no. I mean, there's in 2010, Rollins has moved down to like
Yeah.
4 or 5, 6 in the
He
lineup.
yanked him out of that one.
Like there has to be something other than I trust these guys, I trust these guys, I trust these guys. Like that's fine, but there has to be something else that can also wake them up as well. You have to be a manager, and in that situation, like Trey Turner should have been benched. It's fine. He's not gonna go home and not want to play anymore. Like that's a situation where if he holds one of their best players accountable, who's struggling by the way, it could wake everyone up in the lineup of saying Rob's not messing around. It was an opportunity, and I think he missed the opportunity. And I don't know why it becomes so like again voodoo to be like, yeah, like I can't bench because it might lower our win probability. Of course, it's gonna lower your win probability. Like you're taking out Trey Turner out of the game. Like, but at some point there has to be some kind of like some accountability in that clubhouse. And I thought yesterday was a real opportunity. I don't know why he didn't do it, and it could continue on more and more.
Yeah, no,
it's not addressed.
You're exact. Like that's the thing is, I know that part of the reason they love Rob Thompson so much is because he's the same guy every day. You know, we hear that from so many players, and you hear that about a lot of managers where it's like that's what players want. They want someone who's going to be even keeled, who's not going to overreact to things and all that. But the whole point of being that even keel guy and why that works is that when you do lose it or when you do bring some sort of hammer down, it's more impactful because you're so calm and measured that you have that in your tool bag where when you need to let it go, it's like Silent Bob doesn't speak in the movies. And when he speaks, it's like, bang, it's impactful. It matters because he didn't speak the whole time. Like that's why you are that way, so that when you have to bring the hammer down, you have to have that hammer. And I'm with you. Like, I don't know that Rob Thompson has a hammer. I don't know it. Like, and I think it's a similar type of thing with these issues that we've seen in the playoffs with the trusting his guys too much. Like, I think it's all part of the same ball of wax, so to speak, where it's like at a certain point, you have to realize, like, yeah, Craig Kimbrell stinks now. Like, he's not good anymore. Mm-hmm. I know he's my guy, and I'm even killing him. But you know what? He's bad now, so he ain't going to pitch. Like, I think it's part of the same thing where Rob has this, like, just unyielding, unending trust in this group and the guys and the vibe and the whole thing. But it's like at a certain point, man, you got to do something to spur things. Like, you can't just assume it's going to freaking happen.
And especially with how sloppy they've been. Like, yesterday, again, like Bryce just drops the ball at first base.
And what was that?
I don't know.
Scores runs, run score because of it.
I don't know. JT, it's the freaking one leg thing and looking to scoop it on the back end. Like, it's a runner on third base. You don't have to do that.
Yep.
Block the freaking baseball.
Like you've done your whole life as a catcher. Like, get your knees on the ground, get your freaking chest behind it, and let it bounce off you. Like every catcher, that's like your go-to.
Like a true catcher.
You're damn right,
like
buddy.
A true catcher.
Damn right.
There, even though it's 70 years.
It's exactly right.
But it's
even then, to get your body in front of it, man. Like,
they have to know that what they're doing is wrong, and it's not gonna destroy Trey Turner. It's not gonna, even if he did it to Bryce. And like, he hasn't really deserved it, But that situation yesterday, it's harmless. 9-5, 7th inning. You're probably gonna lose anyway. Just he did something wrong. Your team is struggling. Do they know they're struggling? I think it's almost, it sounds simplistic. Like, if you're Rob Thompson, you know that Trey Turner probably knows that he messed up. You know that these guys want to put the ball in play in situational baseball and get hits with run, but like a little bit of a jolt, a little bit of a wake-up call, and a little bit of, it's okay to be on edge a little bit around the manager. Like, he doesn't have to always be your friend.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really big missed opportunity yesterday to maybe snap them out of it and be like, okay, again, like, Rob's not messing around. And it's not showing panic. It's not showing, oh, he's not steady. It's showing some freaking stones.
It's like, accountability, like you said before.
This team has been so freaking soft for 2 months of just, well, when we get to the postseason, we'll be fine. Like, someone has to step up down there and show a set of stones and be like, this isn't good enough. You think it's the players, you hope it's the players, but the players haven't done it for 2.5 months. So it has to be someone else. And yes, I know it's August. I know that it's September. I know the postseason doesn't start today. But like they can't just limp down to the finish line here and then expect to turn it on. Like they have to right the ship a little bit. They have to get the pitchers moving the right direction again. They have to get the lineup moving the right direction again so that they know when they get in the postseason what works versus what doesn't work. Also, are teams just not going to throw them strikes like the Diamondbacks did in the postseason, and they're just going to let it happen? Are they just going to let teams know how to pitch to them and lay down? I mean, it's just I cannot for the life of me take we're gonna like this foot off the gas thing. There has to be a little bit of foot on. You're gonna blow the 1 seed, which they've already kind of done. But but you're gonna end up playing in that wild card game, and it's a 3-game series, and you don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe again they get in, bang, and the 3-game series is great. They get back to be at home and they can go off. But it's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game, and like frankly, I think this team needs 5 days off. I look at every single pitcher, even often who I trust with everything.
Struggling, man.
And Del Castillo, I mean, what he hit 700 this series. Jake McCarthy,
yeah, unbelievable.
I hate that team.
Jake McCarthy has like a 780 career slugging percentage against us.
And they added Josh Bell on top of everything. And like, I know. And they're just on fire, and they're playing damn good baseball. Like they're a damn good baseball team, and they do the platoon thing right. Our platoon is Rojas and Marsh. Their platoon is Corbin Carroll, Jake McCarthy, Alec Thomas, who stinks, Lourdes Gurriel. Like they have a bunch of dudes. By the way, they lost 3 or 4 with Ketel Marte not playing.
Yeah, well, and
besides 1 game,
and Christian Walker's hurt too.
They're good. The Diamondbacks are good. Yeah. I guess listen. I'll go Pedro. The Diamondbacks are my daddy. I don't know what to tell you. The Diamondbacks are my daddy. I went on Arizona radio on Thursday. Thursday, they're like, "Hey, you want to come on?" And like, we'll have fun back and forth. And I think I scared them. I did. I was like, the Diamondbacks make me want to die, like they do. and they got off. I think I hung up the phone. And they were like, "That was jarring. He sounds really. You might need to check in somewhere." Yeah, we know. They're gonna fully break me. Like I'm mostly holding it together.
Are you? Is this? That's the question. Is this you holding it together?
Yeah, it sure is. We can go lower. Don't lose in the first round. Don't lose in the first round, or it's gonna be. I don't even need you on the podcast. I really
know.
don't.
Yeah. I'm leaning back. Just like
45.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'll give you 45. But they're getting close. Like again, you put on a brave face. You're smiling your way through it. You're just hoping that one of these days they wake up and remember how good they can be. But how good are they, James? That's the big question. How good are they? Were they all just playing it over their head the first 2 months of the season? How good really are they? How good? Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me how good they are?
I don't need to talk. You just keep answering your own questions.
Internal monologue at all times. Yeah. Internal monologue.
Yeah. How good are they is a good question. It's a good question. Because right now, again, like the 5 through 9 is a hole.
At least we got Austin Hayes the deadline.
Yeah, thank God.
The big issue. And it's an off-season issue, clearly. They need to find another, like, real bat, middle of the lineup.
Yeah, they need another real dude. That's exactly right.
More internal monologue. Here's what pisses me off, too, is that you look top to bottom, they should be the deepest lineup in the NL. You want to take Freeman, Ohtani, Betts, Teoscar, like, it's fine. But, like,
probably done.
Will Smith, but
the whole thing, yeah.
Top to bottom, like, they should, regardless if they're not one,
they should be up there. I agree.
We can't live in a world where Stott's hitting 238.
That's what I was about to say. Is like Bryson Stott's like bad.
He's been bad.
He's bad. At no point this year have we seen the guy we saw last year. At no point. I mean, defensively, he's been great. Like all credit we're due. He's still a great second baseman. Though he did have the one yesterday where it's like, dude, like, but I mean, offensively, like the guy, we went in this year with like people talking about a freaking batting title.
Gonna lead the league in the average.
So like, what is it? What have you seen? Like, what do you think it is with Stott? Like, because it's. I mean, it's hard to believe when I watch it. Like Marsh, I get it. Like Marsh has always been a hot and cold kind of guy. He can't hit lefty, whatever.
By the way,
yeah. Oh
I mean,
you want to talk cold? Yeah. As cold as anyone has been all year.
Why do they do that?
Why?
It's like you don't have to all go cold.
I know. It's crazy. Why do you all suck at the same time?
They're cold It's unlike any team I've ever seen.
We had a caller say today, and I thought it was an interesting point. He's like, we always give them such credit for the vibes when it's good. They're all vibe, whatever. He's like, is it possible that because they're so close and they vibe so much that when they're all struggling, they all vibe struggles? Like, and it's just all, it's like, it was an interesting thought. It could be because it does feel like it all is the same time.
Do we need to float out? I mean, do they need to cut Garrett Stubbs?
Oh God!
Just as a wake up call.
Exercise the demons.
The old wake up call. Cut Garrett Stubbs. I mean, is that what they have to do to say, hey, we're not messing around now? Or
the Martian people very happy.
Do we have to do this standing O 2.0? I mean, do we have to do it? I don't want to do it.
Oh, I know.
I don't want to do it.
I know.
I'm too mad at them to do it.
I know.
Too mad at them.
I know. They might need it.
They don't deserve it.
They don't. So it's a stat thing. Like, and then we'll get take back and all, but like just stat alone, like, because I think of all the there's a lot of struggles that annoy me this year. That's the one I think I'm most the how big the drop off is. Like, I think it's the most surprising thing to me this year is just how bad a hitter he's been.
Yeah, because he should not be.
And that's my point. Like and what we saw last year, I thought at least I thought his floor was much higher. You know what I mean? Like, I don't him win the batting title. Like, he's a third year player. Like all that stuff, but I didn't expect like. I thought if nothing else, this dude knew how to hit, and he knew how to cover the plate, and he knew how to put the ball in play if he needed to.
Well, there's time last year. What did he go like a month with striking out 2 times?
Exactly. Like, what happened to that guy?
Yeah, I can't tell if he got so caught up with like walking that it actually harmed him at the plate, and maybe that is what it is. And this offseason he gets back to just trying to hit. But so it's a couple things. I think his pitch recognition is pretty off. Like, he seems like very in between. Like, when he thinks he's getting a fastball, he's getting a curveball, and he's just off. There's been so much more this year where he gets, and it actually happened a lot last year. He got into 1-2 counts, but he just
he battled and then would get to 3-2, and
Yeah, I don't know, man. The swing looks loopy, but it's always kind of looked loopy. So, but yeah, it's just he cannot be for this team to be as good as we think they can be. Like, Bryson Stott has to be a 280 hitter. He can't be a 238.
Yeah, no,
like it's really, outside of the established guys, like a lot of the younger guys also like haven't gotten that much better. Like
Bohm's the only one. Yeah,
been really good.
He's the only one
Rojas
of all those guys. He's the only one who's taken a tangible, real step forward this year when we thought a lot of guys would, or if nothing else, would maintain.
Well, what makes me so mad is that, like, you look at the Diamondbacks, you look at the Giants, not this year, but the last couple of years. You look at the A's, right? And it's like the A's are arguably one of the best lineups in baseball. I know, like, Brent Rooker is also insane and Lawrence Butler is awesome, but it's like just a bunch of no names.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like I watch so many other teams, and it's like they have a plan. They have a plan, and ours is, again, even with the hitting coach and the hitting coach and the manager are very big on the whole. The other pros,
they'll figure it out.
Like,
I'll figure it out.
I just think,
do your freaking job. You're the freaking hitting coach. What are you talking about? They'll figure it out. Help them figure it out. Make them figure it out. I hate that.
And when we see them go through these lulls where it's like they go on a month stretch or in a postseason series where they all go cold and they can't adjust back, like someone's not doing their job. And while I do agree to an extent, like, how much is the hitting coach really going to matter? But like, we've seen hitting coaches all over the sport now. Like, the sport has changed to where they all have a plan, they all have an identity, they know what they are, versus like these guys are pros. I just like the Kevin Long thing. It's hard again to know exactly what a hitting coach does, but it just feels like there's so many nights where it's no approach, and we'll go up there first pitch Akin. Awesome, that's great, love when you do that, And it's just very few guys I feel like have a plan of attack. I don't think Turner has a plan of attack. I don't think Castellanos has a plan of attack, and when he's hot, no problem. But when he's not, it's like, what are we doing? That's how you go into this super 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 cold streaks. The Kevin Long thing is going to be something to monitor. This is too good of a lineup on paper.
Well, that's if they flounder out, if this lamb doesn't get back on track and they lose in the first round of the playoffs or whatever, Kevin Long will be the lamb. He will be the sacrificial lamb if I had to bet. Because if they flounder out and like don't get, like, let's say it's a steady decline from going World Series, NLCS first round or whatever, NLDS, like, someone will go. Like, we're at the point where, like you said, 2 years ago, it was like, what a fun run. We went to the World Series. That was cool. Last year, it was like expectations. They lost. I'm not going to destroy them, but like they should have done better. They blew it. This year, it's like, all right, enough. You know, like not a feel good story anymore. Now you're expected to win, and you came up small. You know, so I do think that a head will roll if
A
it
lot's
plays
on
out
the
that way.
table. A lot's on the table if this goes down the way
I agree.
it's currently
I
going
agree.
down.
All right. Shout out to today's sponsor of the show, in addition to Miller Lite. Today's show is sponsored by Miller Lite and the Manny Young Brewing Company, the Manny Young Brew Pub.
Ooh.
Shout out to my wife Emily's old stomping ground. She used to work at the Manny Young Brew Pub.
So you
we had some tables there back in the day.
You guys both worked at breweries.
Yeah, yes, I have worked at multiple breweries. I've waited many a table in my lifetime. But my wife did work at the Manny Young Brew Pub. The Manny Young Brew Pub, shout out, check out the Manny Young Brew Pub for every Phillies game and enjoy $3.50 Miller Lite drafts. Great deal. Along with the honey sriracha wings, fried pickles, and yes, an extensive fresh sushi menu. How about that? Miller Lites for Phillies win, celebrate responsibly. All right, Fritzy, what do we got in the bag today?
Well, it really made me mad how fired up the Diamondbacks were about this being like a big.
Because it should be us, right?
Yeah.
We should be the ones going in and being like, "You bleeping a-holes, we're gonna come rip your faces off."
Well, and that's the team of the first half was that team. The team the team of the first half was like, we got a message to send here, and they are not sending any messages. But they're playing A-OK. They're tweeting out dancing on my own. We're dancing on our own. Yeah. Sickening. The
you know what?
The replica rings.
Good for them.
They can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Shut them up, Phillies. How about that?
But
shut them up.
They just laid. They absolutely.
God, I know.
Laid.
Especially after they win the first game of the series. That was a nice win. And
they fought back in game 2.
Game 2. It was the walk-off, then it just all fell apart. But they really, look, they were in game 3 until Junior Marte, and then it just all fell apart. Mm-hmm. Another spot where Rob Thompson's just like, go ahead, die out there, Junior. That's fine. Yeah.
Did the Brent Rooker game ruin the season?
Dude.
Did they feel like they were so unstoppable that they didn't have to, they didn't think they could lose that bad to an opposing team, and they lost that bad? I wonder if that was a little bit of oh, man.
I think they were like, wow, I didn't know that someone could actually hit a ball that far. Oh, he hit 2 of them that far. Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
It's awesome. But yes, the Diamondbacks, very, very happy, and I'm very, very mad that the Phillies could not match and at least show some guts.
Show some gumption.
Jake McCarthy was sickening. I mean, the Phillies were on the right track trying to trade for him when they were playing.
Oh, yeah. No, I love those reports. I was like, go get that guy. That guy's good. Fast.
Bring that back.
Yeah.
Bring that guy.
It is funny how they just have a bunch of dudes like Carroll, McCarthy, they have different versions of the same player. They even look the same a lot when they're, especially McCarthy and Carroll with the long hair and the lefty stance, kind of straight up similar. I'll look up and be like, which one is it this time? Oh, okay. It's Carroll.
It's the big, strong guy.
Yeah.
That's from Scranton.
Yeah.
And as a Phillies fan. And we could have brought home.
But he was. I didn't know he was a Phillies fan.
Yeah. Big old Phillies fan. That's why he likes to stick it to him.
They have a ton. What is up with the
I know.
Gallon, Walker.
I know.
It's weird.
Yeah. The Orioles like all the old Phillies.
That's
the
true.
Diamondbacks like everyone from.
Yeah. Greg Soto, not as
No.
Not a big fan favorite down in Baltimore so far.
How about them winning the Colby Allard start?
I know.
And they
of
have
course.
Their 3
well,
best.
that's they won all those Tyler Phillips starts. Yeah,
they have their 3 best going. And then, by the way, are you all fired up about Max Lazar?
Shout out, baby.
Max Lazar.
Go Juice.
I tell you what.
Another Jew. He was good. He didn't suck.
Just about as low leverage as it gets.
Yeah.
The old 10 runs down.
Yeah.
But looked good.
He looked all right.
Looked like a funky delivery.
It is funky. It is
funky.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever it takes to have him in Junior Marte and maybe Jose Ruiz spots.
Junior Marte. Dude, God. Junior, whatever you want to, God, he is.
No,
he's got to go.
Yeah.
I can't watch him pitch.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. And I did what I usually do when the Phillies are struggling. So I watched some minor league baseball.
Oh, okay. I thought video yearbook, baby. Okay.
No. Aiden's figured it out in August. That's good.
Oh, that's good. Good news. Well, he's still Phillies, so that's good news, too. Yeah. Who'd have thunk that we would, 3 years in, be like, Dave, trade the prospects?
I know.
Who'd have thunk it?
And who'd have thunk you would have said, mm-mm.
No, sir. No, you know what I'm not going to do? Trade anyone.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
We're 25 games over 500 and the best record in the NL.
In 2029, look out.
Well, I do appreciate that. I'm very excited for the 2028.
Very Fritz. Yeah, it's a Fritz move, but
yes. But Justin Crawford hit a grand slam over the weekend, which is great.
It is great news.
And I know I know. They look
Really?
like he changed the swing around a little bit. Looks like he's got a little adding more pop.
Look at
Adding more.
that.
He always had great bat to ball skills, but getting the ball in the air is, believe it or not,
Well, I'm
important.
excited for our all center fielder outfield.
Well,
5
listen,
years.
the Diamondbacks did it. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously. And,
You're right. They did. That's exactly right. That's what they did.
And they're pretty damn good defensively,
Yeah,
except for
good point.
Gurriel,
Yeah.
even though he made that stupid catch yesterday.
Oh, I know.
And then Gabriel Rincon's. I'm very, very quick hands. I'm in. I'm very in.
This is the only time you smiled.
Yeah,
Not been
a power hitting corner
all of a
outfielder.
sudden, now you're like, I see your teeth.
Not bad.
Got this smile going.
Not bad. Listen, I've seen too much Cal Stevenson, all these guys. Bring me Rincon's. I feel like the Moneyball.
I feel beat up right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been through the ringer with this team right now.
No, well, it was funny. I was thinking about today. It's like, man, early in the season we were saying how it's so easy. This is boring.
Yeah, well, this is boring. Yeah.
I would prefer that. Believe it or not.
Big time. We were like, how do we do pods like this? What do we even say?
They're just good at everything.
Way better, those pods.
By the way, I've never seen Chris Sanchez not miss the middle of the plate like he did yesterday.
He was just off yesterday.
He completely changed around his tendencies. I think he was 47% changeups yesterday, and it used to be or when he's pitching well, it's completely flipped with him in the fastball.
That's weird.
So he was not even close to having it.
He was all over the place.
11 hits against them.
12.
Okay.
I think it's
8
12.
was his career high.
Yeah, I think it's 12.
He had 12 hits against them.
It was not great.
God, I cannot believe
this. Yeah, especially right after we do the last pod, and you're like, oh,
well, it was vintage. I mean, it was about as high hopes as it could be. So I appreciate that they still
commit to our bets.
I'm surprised at how much they're laying down, and I know I don't believe they're not trying. They're not it's when you're struggling, it looks like you're not
pressing. Exactly. I think they're pressing, and I think I think they all feel it on their shoulders, and I think they're all the one who wants to break it out and break them out of the slump and hit the home run and this and that, and it's not working.
Team could use a laugher. The team could use a laugher.
Yeah. The team definitely could use the Marlins and the Nationals. It's just handle them.
Yeah, that's the big issue.
And it's only 5 games, and then you get back to the Mets and the Braves. And
right back into it. That's awesome. But use these games.
Yeah, use them.
Use these games as okay.
Get back on track.
Yes. Again, I don't need you streaking into the postseason. I don't need it 20-7 September. But show that you are still a really good baseball team.
I need above 500 in September.
I need above for sure.
Yeah.
I did spend too much time looking at the Rangers of last year to convince myself everything's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look, it is what it is. That's baseball now. The playoffs are chaos. It really is. You really can be struggling heading in and go on a run, but it's just, we got a glimpse of what a truly great Phillies team can look like, and then it just got ripped away from us.
Can I say something really depressing?
Sure. Can't wait. What a lead-in. Yeah.
We're gonna look back on 2022 as
the best of the oh, God.
That's my biggest fear.
That's the magical year.
That's my biggest fear is that 2022 was.
Weren't we down enough? Was that actually necessary? We could have just ended the pod.
I know.
You didn't have to punch them when they're down one last time. You didn't have to throw that little bomb in there.
The reality is, James, is that you say punch people while they're down, but really I'm punching myself in the face.
We know.
So
no one's taking it harder than you. That's
yeah. It's like when Sirianni watched the Super Bowl every day.
Yeah.
He said.
Yeah.
He didn't really say that, but it felt like he said.
Yeah.
He's like, you gotta beat yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
It's well, that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
they really bringing everyone with you.
Yes. Yeah. Bring everyone down with me. That's what I do. I don't lift up. I tear down. That's what I do. But I really hope that 2022 is not the year.
Oh God, I need it not to be the year.
I need Bryce on a float.
I need one, just one.
Just one.
I'm not gonna get greedy. I just need this group to win one. Okay.
The lovable Phillies.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
All right.
Damn it.
We'll be back later in the week. I'd say if they lose 2 to the Marlins, we won't be, but Jack will make us, so we'll be here most likely.
Yeah, those season's teetering. people need us.
We are teetering. All right. Well,
we're not. Well,
no.
We're teetering.
Yeah, I mean, you are for sure.
Yeah. on edge.
I'll probably be okay.
Yeah, you'll probably be fine. You'll probably be fine.
Got a lot of life experience with this type of stuff.
Well, but think about it this way: you might have life experience, but do you have a long life
I knew you were going to go there. I was wondering how he was going to get there. Like, how much life do you have left? Or how much do you have left to experience? Like, I knew you were going to. Thank you for that. Really, just a ball of joy and positivity today.
Just think about it that way, James.
Yeah, I will. That's all I'm going to think about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole day is going to be thought about that. That's great. All right. We'll be back later.
Give Zoe a hug.
Yeah, I need to. Who knows how many hugs I have left? There you go.
That's what I'm here for, keeping it in perspective.
Yeah, I'll think about that.
Keeping it in perspective.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, but it was funny. It was funny. I was driving yesterday, and like Walker's starting to like understand what we're saying.
Oh yeah, it's great.
which is funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing that brings me more joy than like we'll get up in the morning and I'll be like, "Do you want to go downstairs?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's there's nothing better.
Yeah.
But I haven't totally figured out the whole cursing out the Phillies thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday we're in the car as Marte's blowing up, and I'm just like gripping the steering wheel and like trying to restrain myself.
Oh, see, I've yelled like, F-bomb or whatever, and so he'll go, "Why F?" And I'll be like, "Phillies, don't say that in school."
Yeah, don't tell your mom.
Yeah,
but
no, way past that.
but I'm trying to show
it's
restraint.
Very hard. I'm proud of you.
And then Jill's like, "Daddy just gets
you
very."
You could do it on the podcast. You can't curse on here. You could bring that to the.
Yeah, I know. But Jill's like, "Daddy gets very upset when the Phillies aren't playing better." Like, I actually wonder. I was thinking about this too. Like, am I gonna be so intense about the Phillies that it actually turns Walker off?
Well, I don't know. It could be that, or it could go the other way, where Walker is like so anxiety ridden based on the Phillies because he knows that your mood hinges on it.
Want to be that
where
guy.
It's like he's like, "Oh God, the Phillies lost. Oh God, what's gonna happen tonight?" Like like that kind of.
That won't happen.
No, not
that will not.
You know what I mean, though. Just that, like, it's like when the Phillies lose, he associates that with you being sad,
right?
And then
he tries to pick me up.
Yeah.
But here's what I need: when I reach your age.
Someday. Yeah.
Someday when I reach your age.
Many years.
I need Walker to go through his first real slump with the Phils.
Yeah.
And see how he handles it. And then with all of my life experience / life expectancy left, I'll be like, "Son, remember the 2024 Phillies." Are they gonna be the 64 Phillies?
Stop.
Are we gonna go?
What is wrong with you?
Are we gonna go 64 to 2024?
What are we doing here? All right, we're out of here. I need to just turn his mic off. We'll be back later in the week. He's Fritz and Seltzer.